Hey, everyone! History isn't always glorious. Sometimes it's terrifying. Today, we uncover the 5 most brutal punishments in history. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe for more shocking history. The first punishment is one of the most disturbing: flaying or skinning alive. Imagine your skin being peeled off while you're still alive. It sounds like something from a horror movie, doesn't it? But it was a grim reality in ancient times. One of the most notorious instances of flaying alive occurred during the reign of the ancient Assyrians, a powerful empire that thrived in Mesopotamia between the 9th and 7th centuries BC. Their military prowess was feared throughout the region, and their enemies often faced brutal punishments, including flaying. According to historical accounts, the Assyrians would use a sharp knife or a hooked instrument to start the process of flaying. They would then scrape away the skin from the victim's body, inflicting excruciating pain. This wasn't just a quick execution. It was a form of torture meant to humiliate and terrify. The victim would be kept alive, sometimes for hours, as their skin was stripped away piece by piece. Once the skinning process was complete, the flayed victim might be left to die of exposure or be thrown into a pit with wild animals. The Assyrians weren't the only ones who practiced this gruesome form of punishment. Throughout history, civilizations such as the Greeks, Romans, Chinese, and Japanese also used flaying as a means of retribution or torture. In some cases, the flayed skin of the punished was used as a trophy or a warning to others. This horrific practice serves as a chilling reminder of the brutality that has existed throughout our history. Are you ready for more historical horrors? The next brutal punishment is the breaking wheel or Catherine wheel. In medieval Europe, criminals were subjected to a horrifying form of capital punishment known as the breaking wheel. This gruesome practice involved tying the condemned person to a large wagon wheel, often made of iron, and then systematically smashing their bones with a heavy iron rod. The aim was to break the person's bones without causing immediate death, leaving them to be displayed as a warning to others. After the condemned had been broken, they were sometimes left on the wheel for days, left to die a slow and painful death. Others were pushed off the wheel after it was all over. Have you heard of the horrifying punishment known as Lingchi, or death by 1,000 cuts, originating in ancient China? This excruciating method of capital punishment involved the systematic slicing and dicing of a person's body over a prolonged period. Typically, the condemned would be tied to a wooden horse, and the process would begin with the slicing of the muscles and tendons. This agonizing ordeal could take hours, as the executioner methodically cut the body into pieces, usually starting from the arms and legs, and eventually moving towards the torso. Lingchi was not merely a means of ending a life, but a form of torture designed to inflict maximum pain and suffering before death. Moving on to another gruesome form of punishment: impalement. This involved driving a sharp stake through the body, often through the chest or groin. Victims were left to slowly bleed to death, sometimes left in this state for days. One of the most infamous practitioners of impalement was Vlad the Impaler, also known as Vlad the Impaler. During his reign in Transylvania, Vlad gained a reputation for his cruelty and reportedly ordered many of his enemies and political rivals to be impaled. These victims were often left in public view as a warning and a spectacle to deter others from opposing him. Now let's talk about one of the most bizarre and horrifying punishments ever: Scaphism, or the boats. Originating from ancient Persia, this extreme form of punishment involved trapping a person inside a wooden boat. The victim would be placed in a boat with sides cut away, leaving them exposed. They would then be forced to consume milk and honey until they became bloated and attracted insects. To make things even worse, the boats would be left in the sun, making the whole experience even more excruciating. As the insects crawled all over the victim's body, they would slowly and painfully bleed to death. These brutal punishments are a grim reminder of the cruelty and suffering that have existed throughout history. From flaying alive to death by 1,000 cuts, impalement, and scaphism, these methods of punishment were truly horrifying. History isn't just about kings and wars. It's also about the dark side of humanity, the unimaginable things that have happened in the past. If you want more shocking history, subscribe to History Bub. We bring you the most amazing stories from history that you won't learn anywhere else. Thanks for watching. See you next time!